Okay, we're gonna see if the magic is gonna happen. I got a tip that there might be some records in a location in and around downtown Reno. So we'll see. I'm almost over there. It's about 9:30 in the morning. So I struck out at this one location. I'm gonna just keep on thrifting. I have time today. I'll see you at the next store. All right, this is a big thrift warehouse, and there's some records here. They're really inexpensive here. And let's see what I can find. And it looks like they just put this out. So here's Doris Baby. Man, I love Jerry Butler's rendition of Moon River. And Steve's Better Half Edie, I love. Okay, here now we're talking Ventures. This looks really, really clean. I'm getting this. Righteous Brothers, Oh, I don't have this. Kenny Rogers in the first edition. I know that Something's Burning is on here. I've never had this. And this is like a... I know what this is. This is radio comp. I'm going to get that. Huh. Jay and the Americans. I might as well get that. They really are a good price here. I think they're $1. The great Frankie Lane. And The Devil Made Me Do It. Oh, look at this nice clean copy of Wichita Lineman. All right, I found some. I struck out at the last store. So this is what I got so far. Thrifting. This is a comp from 1970 from KHJ Radio. It's a double album. It's near mint condition. It's great. The vinyl is close to near mint, VG++. And then, yeah, I couldn't pass this up. Jay and the Americans. It's near mint on this jacket. Really nice jacket and vinyl. And I did not have this Kenny album. Kenny Rogers in the first edition. This is Something's Burning. And then this is a really nice Ventures album that I scored. I do have a copy. This one's cleaner though. And then also Dan Tyminski, such a terrific player, singer. Of course, Man of Constant Sorrow. He made famous once again that great old-timey tune. And if you didn't know, Dan is with Alison Krauss in Union Station, along with Ron Block and Jerry Douglas. And Dan has a couple of, at least a couple of solo albums, really great. So I'm usually not crazy about coming to Goodwill, but let's see what they have in here. I had plenty of time to thrift today and look for records. Okay, let's see here. And I love Misty, Dinah Washington, Drinking Again. I'll have to check the condition on this one. Really early Robert Goulet, great baritone. Let's see. Interesting, James Cleveland. Aretha, of course, did her gospel album with him, I believe, out in Los Angeles. Oh, look at that record. I don't think it's going to be very in good shape at all. Scary polka music. Right. Disco Hustle. 20 hits. It's on here. I think I'm getting this. So something interesting, this Best of Jennifer Warnes. Of course, she did the Leonard Cohen cover of Blue Raincoat, her record. This, I don't think this has any of those tracks, but this is near mint condition. This is nice. These records are $2. And then this record, this is a country rock outfit out of Arizona, Goose Creek Symphony. They're excellent, really, really good. I do have this. This is just not in very good condition. And man, if this Della Reese was in good condition, I would get it. I really, really like her. So let's see. And this Dinah Washington isn't in very good condition either. So I think I'll get the Jennifer Warnes, the Disco Hustle, and what else? Oh, look at this. This is 4 freshmen and 5 trombones. This is the record that really, really influenced Brian Wilson. And this is the first one that he bought by them. And it just, you know, the four-part harmony, just to this day, you know, Brian will talk about the 4 freshmen. So this is cool. This is a repress, but it's just in really great condition. All right, 2 more stops. One thrift store and one secondhand store. And then I'll go home and spin some records, the records that I bought today. So this is a pretty cool mural. They're trying to redevelop this part of Sparks, Nevada. And I walked into that thrift store and I bought 1 record, and that's about it. But I'm really enjoying these murals around town, and I'm gonna make 1 more stop at the Coffer, where I bought so many great records there. Harvest, Pink Floyd, Genesis albums, UK Press. So I think Aurelio and Giovanna, I think they reconfigured the records in the store. We'll see. That's what I heard. So I'm going to go on in and, of course, see what's going on. And here's their hours, if you ever want to come by Sparks, Nevada, off of Audi Boulevard. So this is an interesting mix of records. And he's raised his prices a bit, but there's room for negotiation. I like all the later Joni Mitchell releases. And of course that's Gord's Gold. Such a great comp. So good. So I got a couple things at the Coffer. Now this, I've never seen this, and you may go, what's the big deal here? This is Jerry Lee when he was in the lounge at the International Hotel. That's where Elvis was in the showroom. And in the lounge, you had Ike and Tina Turner, Jerry Lee Lewis, Wayne Cochran, the Checkmates, class acts in the lounge at the International Hotel when it opened in 1969. Again, with Elvis in the showroom. I used to hang out at the hotel all the time, so it's really cool to have this, because I used to walk by the lounge and I saw Ike and Tina Turner rehearse one time in the daytime, and she was very impressive in 1969 to look at Tina Turner on stage. Absolutely. And then, oh, I did get a Traveling Wilburys cassette that's very clean, and I'll put this in a brand new jewel case. And then this is really good too. This is yeah, you know, I only know a little bit about this, but there's been a lot of talk about it. I'm going to listen to this, and it should be pretty good. So back to the question, the topic of this video. Why do I thrift so much? It's plain and simple. Because it's fun, and I love it, and it's the element of surprise, it really is. The thrill of the hunt, and it's so funny because when I go to a brick and mortar record store, I don't ever have a hit list. I just never do, because I'm so used to wanting to be surprised, entertained, and enjoy the moment of finding something that I just didn't think about, that often I'll miss records that I might have really wanted in that record shop, but it's all okay. You know, it works out. I have a lot of great records. So I'm going to go ahead and get started and show you what I did find. Now, I did talk about some of the records that I found thrifting, and it was kind of slim pickings, kind of like the old Western actor, right? But what was really cool is 4 freshmen and 5 trombones. Of course, this greatly influenced Brian Wilson, and anything Beach Boys related I want. And I want to know what Brian Wilson was into, because I just think he's a genius. He's wrote some of the greatest songs of all time. And this is really cool to have. Here's the 4 freshmen, and their 4-part harmonies were so innovative. And the next record that I found, now at the coffer, at their store, it was a little pricier than usual, but I did have to get Jerry Lee Lewis live at the International. And I needed this record because I have such great memories. So this is how it pretty much went down for me as a 12, 13-year-old kid in 1969 and 1970. We lived 4 blocks from the brand new, spectacular International Hotel that later became the Hilton, and my father was an executive there. So my dad would call me up. He would say, "Did you have dinner yet?" "No, Dad." "Come on down to the hotel." I'd ride my bike down there, my 10-speed, right? Down past the Las Vegas Convention Center, where tons of great shows, you know, the Doors and the Grateful Dead had already played, Led Zeppelin at the Las Vegas Ice Palace, but the greatest venue in town was right there, and right next to it was the monster International Hotel. And I used to walk by the lounge. Here's the killer, right? I used to walk by the lounge in the daytime and see these great artists rehearse for their night, and often for their opening night, much like I did with Ike and Tina Turner. So with Jerry Lee, this isn't the best album. I mean, it's stone cold mint condition in the shrink. And this is when Jerry was just hardcore country and Western, and that's cool because he's such a great vocalist. Anyway, nice to have that one. And then this Ventures album, it's all right. I like the earlier Ventures much better. But again, this is just very minty, very nice to have. And this is their 10th anniversary album, and I love the label on that. Now, a record that I'm pretty excited about it, the great Mac Davis wrote Something's Burning, and this is just a very, very nice, clean copy of Something's Burning from Kenny Rogers in the first edition. Nice one to have. And Carole King writes a song on this album for the band as well. You know, she was a pretty good songwriter. I mean, pretty good. And next, you're going to go, why did you get this? And Walter Becker and Donald Fagen toured with these boys in 1970 before they started their new project that was to be called Steely Dan, you know, picking up great guitarists like Skunk Baxter, Denny Diaz, and that's Jay and the Americans' Wax Museum. Now, I don't really care for this record too much. As a matter of fact, I put Johnny B. Good on there, and it's just very uncool. It's just so white bread, man. I mean, it's just the only cool element is one little guitar lick for about 5 seconds. There was a bluesy guitar lick. It's not really my thing, but I want to say something about bands like this. No wonder Becker and Fagen toured with them, because they had hits. You could make money as a great musician. You could make some good money on tour with bands like that. And my brother-in-law, Scott Klein, did the same thing. He worked with, he came up at the same time as Jeff Porcaro in Los Angeles, the great drummer for Toto and, you know, the Porcaro brothers. But Scott was a great drummer, and he did 2 world tours with Engelbert Humperdinck. Now, you may say, whatever. Scott's a jazz drummer, great drummer. He made a lot of money on that tour. And then hopefully it's a stepping off to doing projects that you want, like Steely Dan. The boys came out of Jay and the Americans. And I'm really enjoying, now Famous Blue Raincoat by Leonard Cohen. She does the great cover album, Jennifer Warnes. This is just a beautiful copy of a best of Jennifer Warnes. She's a great, great artist. And the first three songs on here are just wonderful. Right Time of the Night, It Goes Like It Goes, and then I Know a Heartache When I See One. This is a good album. There's Jennifer, great vocalist. And, you know, in the 70s, when disco became a thing, a lot of us really resented disco, and it was just on the radio all the time. But now, I don't mind it at all, and I appreciate it. I like Donna Summer. I like a lot of disco music. I'm much more into 70s soul, funk, R&B, yeah, funky stuff. But, you know, with a little disco backbeat, I don't mind at all. And this plays like a DJ spin in it. It's so cool. Love to Love You Baby, into Fly Robin Fly, Fade In and Fade Out, and more, really cool. Get Up and Boogie. That's right. The Silver Convention. So I'm really glad to have that. Now, it's always a sure thing at Bill's Garage, and definitely I'm going to show you the second album by this phenomenal artist, and this is Robert Fripp, God Save the Queen. Yes, I found this at Bill's. Nice to have. This is a gold stamp promo. Excellent, excellent album. I haven't really dove that much into it yet. I'm just glad to have it. Now I want to get Robert Fripp's very first. And this is another copy of Emmett Rhodes on his debut. I believe this is the debut. And the great Emmett Rhodes, I mean, just amazing. Great songwriter. Nice to have this one. With the gatefold, there he is. Yeah, handsome dude, super talented, and very, very nice. And then another Beach Boys related, kind of, the great Blondie Chaplin. And this is a demo. This is his solo debut. And I love having this. I just wasn't really aware of this record. So that's the other thing, the element of the surprise. Why I thrift, why I dig in garages, storerooms, storage units, secondhand stores. And this is really nice. There's Blondie. And next up, man, anything early 70s, bam, Bobby Womack is just too cool for school. This is a good one. This is Facts of Life. Great album. Here's the tracks on this. Love, love Bobby Womack. And this one, I mean, this blew my mind. This is a Phil Spector, Wall of Sound, Volume 3. The Crystals sing their greatest hits. Look at this. This is a cool record. You know, I like doo-wop. Frank Zappa liked doo-wop. A lot of us do. And this is good. He's a Rebels on here, Uptown. There's No Other, Like My Baby. There's the tracks. And now we get surprising here. You know, I just scored Attila, which was Billy Joel's heavy, heavy hard rock proto-metal band that only had the one record. I scored that at Ted's house. And this is from Bill's. This is Cold Spring Harbor with the Hype. Look at this, Billy Joel with the Hype in the Shrink. Nice record. And, you know, I never would have thought that I would have ever had this album. And this is just stone cold mint on the red Columbia. Very, very nice. And then another very sentimental record, because talking about the International Hotel, when it was built, it was finished in early July of '69. Streisand, one night only for $100,000 the first night. Second night, Elvis, his big comeback, and we were there. And so this album here on RCA, February 1970 on stage, Elvis Presley, is the performances from about August to the spring of 1970. And I was probably at this show that the King recorded. And there isn't much on video because it was just only audio is available from those early International Hotel Las Vegas shows of his big comeback. And here's the King. And CC Rider is just so good. The old-timey song that so many have covered. Elvis did it great. Sweet Caroline is a great cover. Tony Joe White's Polk Salad Annie, amazing. His rendition of Yesterday, Proud Mary, John Fogerty's Proud Mary, and Walk a Mile in My Shoes, Joe South. Wonderful. Once again, the King of rock and roll and another king of the blues, man. This is from 1967 on Bluesway, ABC. That would be, yes, Jimmy Reed's Soulin', from Bill's house. And actually, this is his friend Christine's records, but Bill is caretaking these records. So I was fortunate to buy a few that are Christine's, and these were her husband's records. So this is just wonderful to have. This is on Bluesway. And lastly, guys, I never ever had this. This is just so cool. This is from the motion picture soundtrack, and this is Quadrophenia, right? And I've really been enjoying this. So yeah, why do I thrift? Why do I dig? To be surprised. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.